Let's move down to Zoe over there. Zoe, it seems like Betsy just really, all she wants in her life is to be Mindy's BFF.
It's true. I think that is her goal.
What?
Yeah, her aspiration.
Will that ever come to fruition, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I think we're definitely friends. I mean, Dr. Lahiri's definitely the boss, but I think that she's fond of Betsy in her own way. But I don't think we'll ever achieve, I'll ever achieve the best friend tier.
Like, you're like dependable friend.
I'm the dependable friend.
Well, we had that episode idea that like many years ago, Betsy said, can we have a friend date? And I said, yes, but and I pushed it to like 3 years in the future. And then that day comes.
Yeah. Has to be Rainforest Cafe.
I get to choose.
Yeah.
The hardest I've ever broken has actually been in this episode we did called Harry and Sally, when I come to find you and you're wearing your briefs and you're depressed on the floor.
Saturday Night Plans.
And you show up to tell me you think that Dr. Castellano is dead. And there's a brightness about Zoe. There's like a naivete about her that is so funny and so appealing that you could just, you know, from like the very first time we like met her. And
also, what was the line where she's like, we can hang out Saturday night, we can make our lunches for the week.
She's often it's a tentpole for like, oh, I have to make a change.
Yeah. And then sometimes you guys get into Devil Wears Prada territory.
Yeah.
Where there's an episode coming up where she's super mad. She comes in the office and just throws her purse and jacket. And I mean, for like 15 takes, it was just like, it was hitting Zoe so hard that like her hair was shaking. It's so funny.
The great thing about coming from The Office is that stories that I could never push through, I can push through here. And for a long time, I wanted to do an episode where Michael came in, threw his stuff at Pam, like in Devil Wears Prada, because he saw the movie and like loved it. Steve didn't like it. It didn't like, just for many reasons, you can see that. But now I was like, oh, I can just use it on my show because I have a. And Mike sure didn't use it on Parks and Rec, so you know.
Zoe can't hear out of that ear anymore.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. We got a second season, okay?
But I do feel like my character's constantly getting like just an inch too close to your face. Like I pop up and I'm like, here's this line. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she sneaks up on you. You come down and you've been like, oh my God, you gotta wear a bell around your neck so I know you're coming.
You know, I mean, I don't mean to be nerdy, but I learned so much about like, when I did leave The Office, I tried to like, I was like, what worked about the show so well? And one thing I thought was so great about Michael Scott was he was an absurd character. He made terrible decisions. He was often selfish, racist, homophobic, like all these terrible things. But there was this one character early on in series, Dwight, who thought he was amazing. And you were like, well, I guess he must be if this grown man thinks that he's good. And I think that what's great about the Zoe character is that she just decided a long time ago that I was glamorous and great. And I think it's good for a lead to have someone who thinks that they're worth something.
The best.
She's been so funny doing it, and it's such a fun dynamic.
That's awesome.
Wow, pretty good.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but is there possibly maybe a Betsy Morgan connection going on in The Office here?
We've toyed with that.
Leave off.
What's that? Whoa. We toy with that, and that is there. There is an aspect to Morgan of very much like if it was Downton Abbey, he would always be trying to hang out with the family, and you know what I mean? Like he'd be a servant, but would like hang out with the Crowleys and be like, oh, can you believe these servants? So there's times where like there's a relationship with Betsy and I where she'll say something and I'll be like, ugh, yeah, right, Betsy, am I right? And you're like, no, you two are the same. You and I are not the same. You two are the same. So there's that kind of dynamic. But I think there is romantic possibility for Betsy and I.
I think so.
And me and Danny.
Yes.
2013, guys.
That's right.
I'll throw that out there, just in case you didn't know what year it was.
How would a date between you and Danny sound?
What are you gonna order? I don't know. What do you like? I like calamari. Yeah, me too. Should we go share
Now do him in Argo.
Do him in Argo?
Chris is in Argo.
Chris is in Argo, which won Best Picture. Ever heard of it?
Asking Ben.
Who's asking? Wait.
She's asking Ben Affleck about his performance.
Yeah. So in this scene, I'm going to tell you the mission's not going to happen. Ready? Action. The mission's not. Oh, sorry, the big mustache. You need to try it.
All right, good night.
Stick around, Chris.
Was it fun being in Argo?
Yeah, it was. It was really funny. It's a funny movie.
At the Oscars, were you like, hey, do you guys watch our show? I mean, my show.
Well, you should tell them that that's how I first saw Mindy in New York. She wrote and acted in a play called Matt and Ben. I don't know if anyone here saw it. And she was amazing. And anyway. You don't want me to
You want to
tell
tell us your private Jen Garner, Ben Affleck story.
I want to know that the cast of Argo watches our show. I want Alan Arkin to be at home like, are Mindy and Danny gonna hook up? I need to know this. What's up with Jeremy and Maggie? I need to know. That's what I want to see.